Hello and welcome back to this week's episode. How are we doing?
Very good, mate. Very good. See the suntan's growing on you.
The suntan is growing, and we've had another interesting week of strange nonsense in the world of sports. Mohammed Ben Sulayem's decided he's going to become Vladimir Putin. Manchester City have managed to go all season without winning a trophy. And we enter a week of possibly the worst European final in 30 years. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Is Chelsea's this week as well, or is Chelsea's not until next week?
I believe Chelsea's is next week because it's you guys on Wednesday night.
I'm not defending United's game here, but both of them are pretty shite, aren't they?
I mean, I don't understand how you've played your European competition on a Thursday. Yeah. Time's Wednesday. Why are we just changing the days?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, mate. It says 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning on mine.
That's a lie.
So
3 a.m. on Thursday morning for you.
Thursday morning.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go on my app, which I'm looking at right now, it says Wednesday 3 a.m.
Yeah, don't get up at 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
I'm about to say I'm getting up to watch it, so it's a good job you just pointed that out to begin up the wrong fucking day.
Yep. Once again, you would have been in the wrong day.
Would not have gone down well again. No, Sky Sports. I think got money them fuckers again. They could get times right on app.
Yeah, they've not quite figured out that Australia has a different time zone to the UK, and that makes the day.
It's moved the time. It gave it me at 3 a.m., which is correct. It just gives me the wrong day, which is quite important when it's 3 a.m. You know? Well, it's not like it's 7 p.m. when you could just sit down and think, well, it's not on, I was watching tomorrow. If I get up at 2:30 to watch this, get a coffee, sit down, and then realise the game's not on, I'm pretty fucked, aren't I? I'm kind of up now.
And it's not like there'll be any Australian sport on at 2 a.m. for you to watch.
Because I can just watch something else, is it? Oh, yeah, I'll just pop on normal telly. Oh, yeah, that's great. Just sit here from 2:30 until everyone gets up.
But yes, so yesterday or this morning or whenever it was for you was the FA Cup final with a shock result, it has to be said.
If I don't know why, it shocked me it was the final. In my head, it was a semi-final. I don't know what made me think that. So I sat down to watch it this morning, and when it came on, it was Wembley, and there was the big build-up. I thought it's a big build-up, just for a semi-final. And I don't know why I thought that, and obviously it was the final, yeah. So, yeah, City were rubbish. Absolutely rubbish.
They were. I think Palace definitely deserved to win it. I mean, I think they're lucky because I don't know how the goalkeeper's still on the pitch. But
yeah, I was hoping you could explain this to me. I haven't watched it on a different commentary.
I can't. I cannot explain it. He comes out of the box, handles the ball, stopped Haaland getting there deliberately, and you've done nothing.
I don't understand. Again, I don't want VAR getting involved, but if it's going to be there, what's the point in it? I just don't understand the conversation. Obviously, we haven't heard the conversation. What's the conversation between the man in the box, again, this idiot that we keep referring to, and the man on the pitch? There must have been some dialogue to say the goalkeeper may have been out of his box. The referee stops the game. What have they then looked at to say it's not a red card?
I don't know, because I was under the impression, and I may be wrong on this rule, that I thought handling outside the box was an instant red card regardless of the situation.
But they don't even give a foul, do they?
No.
So it's like they're almost saying it didn't happen. That's the only thing I can think. There isn't a great angle of it, but there is one angle where you quite clearly see he's outside the box.
Oh, yeah, it's not even close. He's well outside when he handles that ball.
But I just can't understand where we've gone to get to nothing. It's just play on. There's two outcomes, isn't there? It's a free kick and we yellow card him because we're being lenient, or it's a free kick and we red card him because that's the law. There isn't an outcome that says there's no free kick. That's not an option. There are two boxes to tick, and they've managed to tick the third box. It's like I just didn't get it, because it almost seemed like they weren't reviewing it. It seemed to go on a bit too long, and then he stopped the game. And I thought, well, he's off now, isn't it? He's done. And then the game continued, and I thought, I've got no answers. I just don't know. I don't really know what to say.
No, I don't. And then the Palace second goal that was ruled out for offside. Again, you probably get different angles than we do in different commentary. I don't know why it took the best part of 2 and a bit minutes to get that, or if not longer. It was just blatant.
The score, and I obviously don't want a Palace to win because I can't stand Man City. And as soon as I saw the replay, I went, "Oh, it's offside."
Yeah.
And what were we looking at again?
No idea.
I mean,
literally
if
not
it
a
hits
clue.
the City player, it's irrelevant because it's a deflection. It's not an intent to play the ball, which is what they were, I'm guessing, trying to look at. I mean, he's within 3 centimeters of the ball, but that's offside. It doesn't matter where it goes. I don't care if the City player does try and play it. That's offside. You're gaining a clear advantage by being stood nowhere near where you should be.
Yeah, and it hits the number 7, who's in an offside position.
It's just I mean, it's one take again, isn't it? It's it's offside. Yep, play on. 10 seconds. Why do we take 2 minutes?
I have no idea.
Did they have a delayed feed or something? Was it like they have to wait for? It's not 1980, is it? I mean, everyone's watching this game all around the world. The only people that can't see it in real time seems to be VAR people.
Just the people employed to figure it out can't seem to figure it out.
I mean, Palace. What's with the penalty as well? I don't know what your thoughts are, but is he not already going down?
My thoughts on the penalty are I was in the middle of making a barbecue and didn't see it.
I mean, for me, his knees are buckled. He's 25% down before the Palace player gets anywhere near him. I just don't. And then what's all this about? Haaland giving the ball to Marmoush and missing? I mean, it's not a pre-season friendly. Why would Haaland pass up the chance to take the penalty?
I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. It genuinely doesn't.
That's just. I mean, I don't know Haaland's penalty record, but I don't remember him missing many. And he's a striker for a start. You don't give up chances to take goals in FA Cup finals. What's going on?
I don't know. It's
bonkers. I mean, as soon as I saw Marmoush taking it, I thought, oh, they're not got a penalty taker. And then I just saw Haaland stood there and I was like, surely he's your penalty taker? No.
And then the interesting part about it all is obviously we had a discussion last week about how 95% of the Premier League can make Europe this season. And another part of it's come true. So Palace will now get there.
Now more teams are in because Palace have won this. Literally, if you're not in Europe this next season, you've got to be one of the worst teams. I mean, obviously, Man U or Tottenham aren't going to be there, one of them, but it's almost impossible to fail to get into Europe. It's like qualifying for World Cup now, isn't it? It's just, you literally have to forfeit something not to get in.
Yeah. So of the things that we thought would undo it last week, actually one of them came true. We didn't expect
Palace to get season, though, that Liverpool, Newcastle play each other in a League Cup final. I mean, 99% of people, if you weren't from Newcastle, would have said Liverpool win that easily. And Palace play City in the FA Cup final again. The only Palace fans thought they could actually win, and probably most of them didn't think they could win, and they win it.
It's like the FA Cup final last
United,
season.
does it? Because actually, Man United are above Tottenham in table, so Tottenham are bound to win.
But yeah, the FA Cup final last season, everybody went into that going, well, City cakewalk, this is easy.
Oh, City have lost 2 in a row, then, haven't they? Yeah, I forgot about that. They've lost 2 finals in a row.
They've lost 2 finals in a row against teams that they should never be losing to in their current form or current situations of both Crystal Palace and Manchester United. There's no way Man City should lose that game.
They argue that Palace are in better form than United were last season.
There's no need to argue that. It's just fact.
Well, yeah.
There's no argument in it.
Yeah, so Man U and Tottenham both got spanked on Friday night before the European final. I mean, to be fair to Man United, I thought we did all right against Chelsea. I mean, it's still Chelsea, isn't it? It's still a big game. To lose 1-0 is not... We haven't been embarrassed, but I don't think we ever looked like particularly scoring. But, yeah, we didn't... But both teams just, yeah. I mean, when was the last time you pick Man United and Tottenham both to be getting battered week in, week out?
Yeah, unfortunately, I realised that about 10:30 on Friday night that there was football on and it had already finished.
Yeah, I didn't even know we played. I'm not going to lie to you, I sat here Saturday morning messing about on my computer and I thought, I wonder if there were a Friday night game. And when I flicked it on, it was Man United. I didn't even know we'd played. And I watched the entire Man United game and then dinner time gone. Somebody said, oh, Villa beat Tottenham 2-0. And I was like, when did they play? I didn't know games were on. Like, So yeah, I mean, I've not watched the Villa Tottenham game because I only watched the Man United game later because I didn't know he played. So
Yeah, it's all just been a bit of a mess
Is that
this
to move
weekend.
both games for the Europa League final? Is that the premise of why we're playing Friday night football, or is it just
for the FA Cup final? So obviously they wouldn't make you play Sunday, I'm guessing, with the final coming up, and we couldn't play Saturday because of the FA Cup final.
The FA Cup final is a full day event.
Yes, it always has been.
What, we can't play any other games?
No, and I agree that's how it should be because in theory the FA Cup final should be after the season's finished, but that's by the by.
Well,
but
yeah, you do that, but I'm not sure that we couldn't have played at dinner time on Saturday, and then the FA Cup finals were 5 o'clock or whatever time. What time were it on?
4:30.
Oh yeah, that well-known football kick-off time of 4:30.
And do you want to know why it was at 4:30?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me anyway.
Because they didn't want it to clash with the Eurovision
song contest.
Yes.
I don't think anyone that watches the Eurovision watches football and vice versa. Do they? Can you imagine putting your telly and going, shit, FA Cup final, Eurovision Song Contest. I'll watch one on my iPad. I mean, who the fuck's tuning into FA Cup final shit themselves and missing Eurovision? I mean, I was missing that anyway. I was watching it.
But the thing is, it didn't come on apparently while 8 p.m. The FA Cup final was going to take 3.5 hours.
I mean, are they losing viewers to the Eurovision Song Contest?
I hope not. I
would really hope not. Men in a pub watching the Eurovision Song Contest, having a couple of pints. Is that, wow. I thought you were going to say something to do with America or, something like that. Not, interesting.
Nope. They were concerned about the TV viewership of Eurovision.
Well, I can tell them now there's more people watch our podcast than watch Eurovision. So they shouldn't have been so worried.
But yes, so that was an interesting fact that I didn't expect to talk about in my life ever. I won't lie, it wasn't.
Well done Palace, well done Newcastle, well done Palace. Made it a bit more interesting this season, right?
Well done the BBC, you still managed to get to show both programmes. Congratulations.
No, nobody missed out. I'll be sure to go back and watch the Eurovision.
We probably did horrendously because we always do, but that's by the by and not something I'm ever going to get into discussing. But in news that's just broke this morning, Jeremy Frimpong has gone to Liverpool to complete his medical in his move from Bayern Leverkusen.
Well, I think it's shows where Liverpool are at right now, doesn't it? Because they've acted very swiftly and very, on the money. Got the man that obviously they've lined up, got him sorted, done deal, no messing about. Well-run club, aren't they? To be fair to them.
Well, because apparently it was Trent had already told the club in roughly March. I think it's now come out that he wasn't going to sign. So they've clearly been lining up this Frimpong probably from as soon as he said he wasn't staying on, and they've got it done, got it over the line, and we're not even.
Like I said before, if your right back leaves, whether it be Trent Alexander-Arnold or some other idiot, you should always know 2 or 3 players that you're going to go for. You should know. Should be in, and you should be in dialogue with these people. It doesn't have to be concrete, does it? But if we were interested, would he be interested? What sort of money would he want? All this should be done and dusted.
And it clearly was.
And that's what it should be like. And that's why I said they're a well-run club, because when things change, they know where they're going. They know the direction they're going in. Can you imagine if Man United's right? I mean, if Man United's right about these, it'd be a blessing rather than a curse. But can you imagine if Man United's right about leave? We won't have a freaking clue where to sign. Probably won't even sign a right back. We'll sign a striker.
Stick Harry Maguire there. He's played every other position at this point.
He's got a great goal against Chelsea and he got disallowed.
Yeah, and I did see a concerning stat for yourself as a Manchester United fan.
I don't look at stats for Man United because it's like reading.
So Gary Neville at Valencia played 28 games. Well, managed 28 games. Lost 11 of them. Ruben Amorim's had 26 games at Manchester United and lost 14 of them.
Yeah, it's not going well.
Bearing in mind, Gary Neville was basically chased out of Spain for being that bad.
Amorim might get chased back, yeah. I mean, there's rumours going about this morning that if he loses the Europa League, they might sack him, but I would like to think that they are just trolls and not actual legitimate rumours.
But again, we go back to the question of if you do sack him, where do you go from there?
No. But there is no reason right now that anyone can tell me is why Ten Hag shouldn't still be in charge.
I mean, Sean Dyche has thrown his hat in the ring.
I'll take it. But there's no point changing the manager because the manager's not the problem. I've been through this. There's no reason right now why Ten Hag shouldn't be in charge of his last game. It's probably not made the Europa League final, but Ten Hag shouldn't be in charge of his last game next weekend against Aston Villa. And then they're saying to him, right, thanks for your time. We're going to move on and pick somebody else up in the summer. Why change there? The change they made was ridiculous. The timing was ridiculous. Just stupid. Absolutely stupid. We've gained nothing. And now all we've got is a new manager under extra pressure because his first 6 months have been a fucking car crash.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he said to him, I don't want to come until the summer. And then we gave him an ultimatum. I mean, how's that a way of working? Well, threaten as new manager before he's even started with, well, you're not having the job. I mean, I'm not being funny. If I were Ruben Amorim, I'd want to shove it up their arse.
That'd be a final outcome.
Fuck yeah, I'm not coming. You're absolutely shite. They've just made a rod for their own back, haven't they? There was no logical reason to get rid of Ten Hag when they did. The season was going nowhere. Yeah, we might win the Europa League, but in the grand scheme of things, what we should have done would have paid more dividends if we'd have stuck with the manager, got to the end of the season, and then, I mean, it weren't like he weren't winning. He won a League Cup and an FA Cup already. So, they were capable of winning a trophy if that's what they wanted. The team's got no better. We're no further on in the journey than we were before. We've just had 6 months of basically saying that 99% of the players we've got can't now play to his strategy. Well, fantastic. Thanks for that. We've learned a great deal there, haven't we?
What we've learned is what we knew already, that the players that you've got are not good enough, and it's
not
as
good enough.
simple as
not
that.
Good enough. They don't work hard enough. They don't put enough effort in. But we knew that. But I've been saying for the biggest thing isn't changing the manager. It's getting as many of them players out of the club as you can. Every player, barring maybe 2 or 3, should be up for sale now. It's the end of the season. Get what you can for them. Get them all gone. I don't care if everyone has to go. They just need to start again. Because the ones that are good are either coming towards the end of the career or have been there too long and are embedded in what's already set. The younger ones have been poisoned by the other people that are around, and the poisonous ones are still there. They just need to clear the boys. It's literally like having a car boot sale. Just open the doors and say, right, stick a sticker on everybody, 50 quid, get them all gone. We'll just stick in whoever next season. I'll probably get a game. And just stick the kids in and just have a year of pain and just start afresh, because this is just absolute turmoil, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But speaking of starting afresh, Everton next season will go into their new stadium.
This. It's the last game of Goodison Park today.
It is. They have named their stadium now. It's named after a law firm. It's going to be called the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
This is a joke, yeah?
Nope.
It's going to be called the... I mean, how much have this law firm got to be sponsoring for a stadium?
Apparently quite a lot.
It's the biggest law firm on the planet.
In Europe. It's the biggest law firm in Europe, I believe.
I mean, I understand that they've probably taken the money, but the name's not really doing a lot, is it?
So Hill Dickinson is a British international commercial law firm headquartered in Liverpool, United Kingdom, with more than 200 partners and 950 staff. The firm has 6 UK offices and 4 overseas, and is a terrible name for a football stadium.
I mean, the HD stadium might have at least softened the blow a little bit.
No, because that makes it look like it's a really good TV picture.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that sponsorship is a multi-thing, but the name is quite important, isn't it?
It just sounds so crap.
No, the Emirates it just fits, stuff like that.
And Old Trafford and Anfield, they've got
the Hill Dickinson. It's not going to go down in history as a classic name, is it?
No, because it sounds like a really boring accountant.
What happens here? So the Etihad is called the Etihad, obviously, because of the sponsor. When they don't sponsor it anymore, do they have to rename the stadium?
Yes.
Fantastic. So the stadium's going to be like Watford and have more names and people go into it at some point. I mean, I'm not really sure that's the right way to do it, is it?
No, to me, you'd be better having calling it the
Name
Hill
sponsored
Dickinson
by.
Goodison Park, or you know what I mean, calling it a
Goodison
name.
Park, sponsored by Hill and Dickinson.
Yeah, so it's always got a name.
I mean, you shouldn't be sponsored by Hill and Dickinson for anything because that's a ridiculous name. I mean, I don't think it's a good name for a law firm, no mind a football stadium.
Well, when I first heard it, I thought it was a betting company because it just sounded like William Hill. So I just thought
I think that's not allowed, but yeah,
but yeah,
I haven't seen that, but that's a very bad name. Yeah,
I mean, the stadium's very nice, and you've ruined it by giving it a crap name.
And then there's stuck a spaceship on side of it as well.
It's just ridiculous. I don't like where football's. We're getting very negative again. We've only been here 20 minutes. And the negativity.
They're not even going to call your stadium that. Then what do they expect us to come on and do? Be happy about it? It needs the piss taken out of it.
It's just painful. It's just
like
it's just very bad.
You know, just don't do that anymore. Do you? Maybe 50 years ago that name would have, fit into society, but it doesn't now.
It would have still been crap 50 years ago.
Yeah, but at least I wouldn't have been here to worry about it.
I mean, Goodison Park has just always sounded right. Like Anfield sounds right. Like, I mean, what's going to happen when Old Trafford's no longer here? Are we going to get the?
Oh, Man United will be giving it some mental name, won't we? We'll be sponsored by some multi-billionaire
Viewer Stadium or whatever it's going to be.
Mental, isn't it? I don't agree with the stadium names. I don't like them being named after sponsors. The retro names sit well, don't they? Naming the stadium after something that is like close to the club. Why couldn't they have named it after a legend or I don't know, something like that? Why did they have to name it after a stupid law firm with a crap name?
I mean, I think the stadium is also being built in the Albert Docks. So they could have called it the Albert Docks Stadium because that's where it is at least.
Just anything.
But it's, so that was just another one of my gripes for the week.
The stadium for a club that never win anything. And abbreviated it.
Mikel Arteta.
They could have called it the Arteta, couldn't they? Or the Pep, they could call it now because you don't win a lot, does it?
I mean, you're getting very ballsy for a man who may or may not win the Europa League and finish 17th in the Premier League.
80 some hours, I don't know. I'll get one game is.
You only have one game left now, and you are pretty much guaranteed to finish 17th.
Yeah, we only got Villa.
Who are fighting for the Champions League, who will probably go and beat you.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if we win Europa League, no one's going to give them monkeys, are they?
Well, that's true. I mean, you've literally got one game left. You've got a goal difference of -12.
Well,
and if West Ham win their game, you are finishing 16th or 17th. Congratulations, what a season.
I mean, they should all. I mean, every player should have 99% of the salary sacrificed and donate to charity.
You've come on to another point that one of my gripes. Fining wages for players who can't beat the first man with a corner kick. Yeah. You're a professional footballer and you can't kick the ball 12 yards. What is wrong with you as a human?
Someone say, it's on his weaker foot. I'm like, you've got one job, kick a football. You should be able to do it with both legs. I'm not asking you to make a 3-course dinner with your feet. I'm asking you to kick a football with your feet. I can kick with both feet, right? Why can't a professional footballer kick with both feet? Ronnie O'Sullivan can play snooker left-handed and right-handed. Yet most footballers don't kick with one leg. How's that even a thing? It's just ridiculous.
Yep. And then the amounts of crosses or free kicks, corners that you're going and they hit the man.
It's in crowd. How have you managed to do that? You spent all week kicking a football, and the time you actually kick it into anywhere remotely where it needs to go, it's in the crowd.
Or it's hit the defender who's then run off with it because you haven't played it over him.
Yeah, that's rubbish.
Yes, that was just another one of my gripes that I've noticed quite a lot rearing its ugly head again in recent weeks.
What's your take on the Man United thing of people not paying for people?
People not paying for people? So do you mean the club not paying for family members to go to the... I get why people are annoyed by it, but players are very rich. If players want their families to go, buy them a ticket, you entitled idiots.
I mean, personally, is this something that is normal? Do the club normally pay for everyone to go?
Yes.
I don't
But I
agree
don't agree
that they
with
should pay a penny.
No.
It's ridiculous. Does your company pay for your family and friends to come to the Christmas do at Christmas?
No.
So why does everyone? It's this Man United ticket price. I understand it's Man United, so everyone makes a massive deal of it. I'm not defending Man United here. I'm just trying to make sense of the thing. So Man United put the ticket prices up, which they didn't actually do, but that's another story. And everyone goes mental because United are ripping people off. United take bonuses off people because they're not actually doing very well. So bonuses aren't paid based on performance, and everyone goes mental. They cut jobs like any other company would do that's making no money and not succeeding, and everyone goes mental. They're not paying for staff to go to the Europa League final because we're making no money and we're not doing very well, and everyone goes mental. How does any fan expect the club to turn around and be successful when we're losing money hand over fist? They almost want the club to be successful tomorrow without sacrificing anything.
Yes.
If your business is failing, you have to make sacrifices. So you can blame Ineos all you want. They're the only people not to blame because they're in there trying to put this right. Right? The Glazers, fine. They're idiots. They've just milked the club for everything. And anyone else that's worked for the club prior to the last year should be to blame for this. They're the ones that have caused this. Ineos have got a choice. They're going to go in and either put the club right, which is going to take massive sacrifices. And to be fair to Jim, if you watch Jim Radcliffe, if you watch his first interview, he did say this would happen. He did say there would be cuts. He did say there would be sacrifices. He did say there would be days ahead where it's going to be dark. Everyone just thought that we were going to just buy Mbappe and we were going to be great again. Well, I can tell you now we're not. We're fucking rubbish. And we're hemorrhaging money left, right, and centre. Right? So if they want the club to return to the top, this is only the start of the cuts. So you've got a choice to make, haven't you? Do you want us back to where we were? Or do you want all the goodies that come with people just handing stuff out for free? It's an easy choice, isn't it? The two don't go hand in hand. So which way do you want to go with it?
And again, if the club can't afford to take some of the staff to the Europa League final, your players are earning a hell of a lot of money and they can all chip in and do it.
The thing is, it's a fact. They can't afford to take you. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter, does it?
Nope.
They're right and wrong in the situation. If there's 10 quid in the kitty, there's 10 quid in the kitty. You can't make it £500. It's not there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? Get a bank loan to send you all to the Europa League final? The money's not there. It's tough. So we can all sit and cry about it, or we can just get on with it. And like you say, there's £18 million a week or whatever going out to a lot of overprivileged players that are shite. Dip in your pocket.
Yep.
And pay. And I understand. So, I mean, some of them have come out and said they will, whether they will or they won't, I don't know. But they've done it on social media to like sort of will shame the club into it. It's all, and everyone's saying, I mean, I like Patrice Ever, but saying if Ineos are too tight. But again, they're not. It's not Ineos's fault. They've been here 12 months, give or take a bit, and they're trying to put everything back to normal. They can't just let money go out of the club willy-nilly wherever they want, and people not sacrifice something. It's just mental.
Oh, it is absolutely, because like you said, if there's no money, you can't justify blowing
Any
it on what
expense you don't need.
they would be seen as, sort of privileges and not necessities. You can't blow money on things that are not necessity.
Look at it and think, people saying, "Oh, well, if you need to cut money, cut the players' wages." You can't cut the players' wages.
That's
There's
the
a
thing.
piece of document says you will pay them £200,000 a week for the next 5 years. You can't just go in and say, "Sorry, mate, I'm going to take 50 grand a week off you." That's not how it works. You can't take bonuses off people because they are there as a bonus. You can't stop paying for extras outside of the playing staff because they aren't required. That's the only thing they can do.
Yep.
They can put up shirt prices, they can put up ticket prices, and they can cut down on expenses. What did everyone think was going to happen? They were going to reduce ticket prices, take everyone to the Europa League, and then announce that we'd also made £100 million. How?
I think people were wrongly under the impression that Ineos were just going to pump in all this money, but bearing in mind they can't because it's not their club.
Financial fair play.
20% of it, and you
Turn
can't just
up with
keep
a bag
pumping
full of
in.
money anymore and say, "I want to spend 200 million on things." That's how the world. That's why financial fair play is there to stop people with more money than fresh air, just turning up and buying what they want. It doesn't allow it. So Ineos, I mean, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's worth billions and billions. It's totally irrelevant because he can't do nothing with it. He can use his contacts that's made him a billionaire to bring money into United. That takes time. Sponsorship deals don't happen overnight. We've got them in place so that the contracts have got to run out or be terminated. He's got to cut costs. To cut costs, he's got to get rid of players, but you can't get rid of 10 players overnight. It's going to take 2 or 3 transfer windows to get these players that are being overpaid out of the club. So in the meantime, he's got to cut other costs. Otherwise, there is no Man United because we'll just go under. We're not performing on the pitch. It wouldn't be so bad if we were winning the league and winning the Champions League and struggling because you could work it other ways, but we're not even successful on the pitch. So where do they think this money is going to come from?
I don't know, because at the minute, like you said, the club's in a downward spiral. It's in a downward spiral financially. It's in a downward spiral in a leaky stadium. It's in a downward spiral on the pitch. So something's got to give, otherwise the house of cards collapses.
Yeah, all comes crumbling down. Yeah, of course it does. You've got to start. You've got to start with what you can physically change, and they are doing. And unfortunately, it's not the nice things because it's probably the people behind the scenes that probably work harder and only earn 50, 60, 70,000 pounds a year. But if that's a cost you can cut, then that's what you've got to do. You can't start with the players because they're the only people that turn out every Saturday, thereabouts, and they've got a contract, which will be bulletproof because it's been through 1,000 lawyers and things. You're not getting away. I mean, I know they've cut a lot of people's wages because they're not playing the Champions League, but that'll have been in the contract. But you can't just turn around to people and say, well, we're only going to pay you half your money because you're not playing very well. Oh, it doesn't say in my contract if I don't play well, I don't get paid.
I know the other concern you've got is I think Casemiro's got a clause in his contract. If you win a European trophy, he gets a 25% pay rise, I believe it is.
Fantastic.
So then it's going to be quite an expensive cup victory potentially.
I mean, they've got to win it. They need to win it I said this last week night. It's a massive game for our future and what it could do for us going forward. But yeah, if they
it's a massive revenue stream to get back in the Champions League. It will bring in quite a bit of cash.
It's the money coming in. It's going to be the revenue from sponsorship because your sponsorship deals will be based on your exposure to TV, and if you're on the Champions League, you've got a chance of being more exposure. There's all sorts of things that are going. It's not just the Champions League money, is it? It's everything that comes with it.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's just one thing. It's one stepping stone, isn't it? I dread to think what happens on Thursday morning if we haven't won it, because you look at Tottenham and they're in a bad place, but they're not in a bad place as a club. They're financially stable. They've got the new stadium. They're a change away from getting back to somewhere where they need to be. So to them, probably the trophy is more important than to them than anything else. Whereas to us, the trophy is probably not as important as what the trophy brings us in the Champions League. The exposure that we need to try and get back on an even keel to even start fighting again.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's a massive game for, like you said, for both clubs, bring completely different realms of why.
Different worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's quite strange because we're not in different worlds. We're both sat at the bottom of the table, embarrassed every weekend by pretty much anyone that can turn out 11 players, even teams that can turn out 10 sometimes.
Yeah, I think for both clubs now, it's just Wednesday night means everything. Next weekend's game means nothing. The Premier League now is just irrelevant. You don't care. You say
over for us since about September, hasn't it? I mean,
yeah,
it started bad and went downhill.
But yeah, so I think that's another 33 minutes of us not being happy with anything in football.
Oh yeah, I mean, the one thing I am happy with in football is I've watched the playoffs so far in the Championship, and I think that is one of the best sporting events that you get to watch. I think it's brilliant. Just I watched Coventry Sunderland. I thought Frank was pretty unlucky. That was a great game. Yeah, I think the whole premise behind the playoffs is something that other sports don't take on board, do they?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Why should a team that finished 6th, potentially 20 points behind the teams in 3rd, have a chance to still go up? Because that just means the whole season's been irrelevant.
Well, yeah, but you finished 3rd, so what's your divine right to go anyway? You didn't win anything.
Well, if 3 come down, 3 go up. It's not about divine right. It's about just simple math. why should the team in 6th have any chance to go up when they've basically been worse than everybody else or the other top 5 teams? And I'm just not convinced it rewards when, I mean, you really think Sheffield United have played a 46-game season. They were clear of 5th and 6th place by quite a lot of points in the end. So they've had a much better season. Yes, not as good as Leeds and Burnley, but a much better season than the other teams around them. The team in 6th, it won't happen because obviously Sheffield United beat Bristol, but the team in 6th could then have got promoted just because of, a couple of games at the end of a season, which I just think it devalues the whole season if you're not careful. Because Sheffield United have worked really hard to get to where they are, for Bristol to be much, much worse than them and could have beaten them. So take Wickham, for example, in League One. They were top 2 for the majority of the season. They only got pipped right at the end by Wrexham very late on. Wickham then lost in the playoff semi-final, so that's it, their season's done, to a team that finished 6th, miles behind them. I'm not sure I think that's fair in the grand scheme of playing a 46-game season.
Well, I think that you've all set out at the start of the season you knew the premise of where you were going to finish. If you finish 3rd, you have to go into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they know it. I'm just saying I don't like it.
See, and I love it. I think it's one of the best. It comes the end of the season. I mean, you look at the Premier League now. There's literally no one's playing for anything. To decide, I just think it just brings something to football that you don't get anywhere else in any other sport.
Oh yeah, I mean, it definitely brings something, and the games are always exciting to watch. But when I look at it from a completely neutral standpoint, and bear in mind, I'm a Barnsley fan. We've gone through the playoffs before, and we've benefited from the playoff system. I'm just not sure I agree with the playoff system where if you could have missed out on promotion by a point and you'd have been 30 points clear of the team in 6th, but then they beat you in a one-off game and it's all been for nothing. I'm not sure it's the right way of doing it when there's no playoff to get relegated. So the bottom 2 don't go down and we have a playoff between the next worst 4 to go down, do we? So from the Premier League, it's not like the bottom 2 are relegated.
End up down.
But exactly. So I'm not sure I think there's a disconnect in fairness between it's harder to go up than come down. If that makes sense.
All right. Yeah.
I think if you're going to do a playoff to go up, you should have a playoff to come down. Yes, it would be really funny because you'd be in it.
And I'll be watching the final.
I'll watch it.
Fucking brilliant.
And it would just be funny to see you in a playoff to come down with West Ham and Everton and Spurs, or whoever it would have been.
Definitely going down, aren't we? I mean, the only saving grace for us would be that I don't know how you have a playoff to go down, because if you win the playoff, do you go down?
No, you win the playoff, you stay up, you're numpty.
So that would work. We have to go down.
Yeah.
How do you lose a 4-team playoff? I mean, Man United would find a way. Can I just add? We would find a way to finish bottom of this. This would, But my only saving grace would be, I almost feel like Tottenham are worse than us. And
well, right now they are statistically.
It's like if you're worse than United right now and you've managed to stay up, you've done well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah, that's my only saving. I mean, like I say, I feel like Tottenham may well win because they say the underdogs. Can you really call out Tottenham the underdogs? But they are technically worse than us at the moment. Seem to be winning the final, so it's concerning. But yeah, I don't think you can really. I mean, people are saying who's the favourite. I'm like, can 2 totally shit teams really be a favourite? I mean, they should both be odds against, shouldn't they, to win it? It should be like 9-1 against for both. I don't think you can do that, but it should be.
No, there has to be a favourite in a 2-team game. It can't be a game where both might lose, unfortunately.
I'm just glad there's no replays in Euro finals because I don't think anyone wants to watch it twice.
And it'd never end. We just keep going and replaying. The
we've got one of the
final in history.
Yeah, I mean, we're slightly better at defending than Tottenham, but I'm not sure we can score. Yeah, they're horrendous at defending. They seem to defending the opposition's half all the time, but they do have an ability to score goals. Probably finish 0-0, get penalties, or 8-5 Tottenham or something. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, if you did have some attacking players, you'd get behind them quite easily because he defends the highest line ever.
We do well. We do all right up to the edge of the box, and then Garnacho seems to have a lot of random shots that go anywhere. Højlund just seems to fall out with everyone, doesn't pass to him. When they do pass to him, he contrives to miss or fall over. And yeah, we just seem. I mean, Bruno Fernandes got 19. Was it 19 goals and 17 assists this season? That's ridiculous. They were saying the other day.
Yeah, he's the only player. He's the only player you've had that's done anything.
Bonkers numbers, aren't they? I mean, if we had like a Van Persie up front, we'd probably like top 4, and we're bottom 4. It's a bit mental, isn't it? And I'm not turning this into an Arteta. We need a striker. We need 12.
Many more things than a striker.
But yeah, it's quite scary to think how good he's been in such a bad season. That's
Anyway, I'm going to shift up away from football and before we get into this weekend's action of Formula One, we have a bone to pick with our friend in the FIA.
FIA is Formula. I'm going to say FA. What they done wrong? Yep.
Well, they've done everything wrong, but this time, no.
This is news to me again.
So this is an article written for the BBC by Andrew Benson, who's their F1 correspondent, about our friend Mohammed Ben Sulayem. He's back.
Not my friend, man.
So he's planning to make changes to things in the FIA once again. And some of the changes he's proposing will bring forward the deadline for candidates to declare they want to run in December's presidential election for the FIA, because we've come round again. It will give Ben Sulayem the possibility to bar any candidate from running against him that he sees fit.
Sorry?
And it will allow him more control over the FIA Senate.
Is this Suleiman? Is his nickname Hitler? I mean, is this not what he did? Is this not dictatorship?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, we are now in a full-on, we're in a sporting dictatorship. It's just ridiculous. The man is basically going to ban people from running against him if he doesn't want them, if he thinks they might win.
Do you think he sees Donald Trump running America and thinks that's how I'm going to run the FIA?
I think he's much, 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 much worse. He's properly trying to...
So basically what he's saying is you can't run against me if I think you're going to win.
Pretty much,
so the only candidates running against him will be Boris Johnson and, I don't know.
Me.
Yeah. Mark Bosnich. That's it. And if you do run against him, you're going to be shot. Surely there's got to be like a board that controls outside of him, who controls who can. I mean, why can not anyone run for president of the FIA? Do you have to have a certain skill set?
I honestly don't know the process, but the old process won't matter.
Can you tell me what he does?
What he does?
Yeah. And that's not being sarcastic. I mean, what does he do? What does president of the FIA do? It's not like president of a country, is it? You're not like,
only part of it is to do with motor racing. The FIA actually is very much into...
It should all be to do with motor racing, really, shouldn't it? Because that's the
no, it's a governing body beyond that. It does a lot to do with mobility and disabilities within driving, and it's in quite a lot more than motor racing is the FIA. It's not just a governing body of motor racing. What he does as a person, he stands in the pit lane trying to shake hands with the drivers who all despise him and then just blank him.
I mean, I don't like him. I've never met him.
He's turning it into a dictatorship. He's
definitely a dictatorship, yeah.
I don't understand the concept of him basically trying to cement power over a car racing job. It's not like he's in charge of a country.
He almost treats it like he runs a country, and he just looks after 22 or 20 drivers, soon to be 22 drivers. I mean, he's kind of in a weird spot, isn't he? Because we've said this before, and I'm pretty certain it will never happen, but it's quite easy to get him out. Just don't get in the car on Saturday morning. I mean, what's he going to do? If they all went, well, while ever he's here, I'm not racing. I mean, he's pretty much the dictator of fuck all, fresh air, then, isn't he? I mean, there is nothing. It's not like you've got like 400 Premier League players you've got to get to stand out. You've only got to get 20 people. I mean, realistically, you've only got 5 to stand out, and sport's fucked, isn't it? I mean, there are other
sports that he deals with. So you've got World Rally
around the racing track, wouldn't you? There'd be no racing after 4 laps. If you got the top 5 to stand out, it's game over, isn't it? I mean, no one will be watching it.
And I think
isn't it quite on quite thin ice, because I don't think it would ever happen, but it doesn't take a lot, does it? We're not, 20 people to all say, and once someone does it, once Max and Lando and George start to do it, others would follow suit, wouldn't they? So
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
you're kind of looking at it thinking, you're not far off, mate. Just people saying, well, you go and dictate, fuck all then. Because I'm off. See you later. You're going to race the cars as well? Have you got a team of people to do that for you? It's not. Yeah, it's got to be careful.
He'd get in a car himself because remember, he's a driver.
A racing driver, yes. And
He's
probably
a
do a better
racing
job than Lando Norris, though, right now, wouldn't he?
Well, he probably would do a better job than Yuki Tsunoda or Franco Colapinto because they're both in a hedge.
Well, to be fair to Yuki Tsunoda, he's lucky to be alive.
He is, definitely.
They got decapitated by a fence. There's a good job.
He's
only 5
foot. Very, very short, so he doesn't see over the steering
It's the one
wheel.
time in life where being short has been good for him. Normally, but I wish I was as tall as you. Now he's like, fuck that. I'd be dead. Yeah, the Halo did its job. I'm like, no, it did its job because he's only 5 foot. If it had been 6 foot, he would be shot. Well, he'd been 5 foot when he finished.
But no, it does prove how important the Halo is. Absolutely.
Where was he
going?
How
important that device is. They were selling sushi in the crowd. So he went.
He made his way there quick enough. Yeah, I mean, what is Christian Horner doing? Where's he going to go?
Well, there's unsubstantiated claims and rumours that he's going to get sacked on Monday morning. Now, I don't believe the rumour, and I just think it is media nonsense, but it is still keeps circulating around that he's out of a job.
So, Christian Horner, is he in the same position as Toto Wolff? Doesn't Toto Wolff own part of Mercedes-Benz Racing Team?
So Toto Wolff owns 30%, Mercedes own 30%, Ineos own 30%. So it's a split ownership of Mercedes, AMG, Petronas, Formula One racing team.
Right.
Christian Horner is just an employee of Red Bull.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So Red Bull is owned 51% by the Thai side of the business. And it's owned 49% by the Austrian side of the business, which was, until he passed away, Dietrich Mateschitz, now his son. So it is a split ownership, but nothing to do with Christian Horner. He doesn't have any sort of sway in that sense. So he is just an employee. And if they want to sack him, they will do so.
I wonder, obviously, been there a while, hasn't he? So I wondered if he was like...
Been there since the very start. So he's been there now 20 years as of this year.
What do you think? Will he go? Will he see it through? Will he?
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think it's media hype that they're looking for a story that they want to just keep stirring up the pot around Formula One because they've got to keep it
interesting.
They've got to keep it exciting while we're in a phase of at the end of a regulation set that the racing is unfortunately swaying more to being a qualifying championship than a racing championship. They were hoping for this McLaren title battle, which is turning into one guy's just destroying the other because the other's becoming too inconsistent and not performing in any way, shape, or form what he's supposed to do.
Well,
so the narrative around the season is failing for them. Sorry, say that again.
His consistency is now being inconsistent.
Yeah, he's consistently inconsistent. That's exactly what he is.
Literally. I just like to say I watch him every week and I'm just disappointed in him. Before my son, I begin him a clip and just think, what are you doing, man? It's just every weekend, isn't it?
Yes.
Every weekend, you're watching him go around and you're just thinking, you're just not at it. What's going on? You can't blame the car because Oscar's constantly banging it on pole or as close to possible. He's just not there.
And then it's concerning again the things he said after qualifying yesterday. So he said something about everybody finds pace on the final runs, I don't, and it's just not good enough. And it's like, yeah, you're honest, but that just sounds defeated. I don't know. It just sounds wrong.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you approach it if you are him. I understand it. Do you be honest and like hammering is you being honest and telling them the truth? But you can't then in the next breath come out and say, I'm ready for a title fight. You know, I'm the man to take the title fight forward. Well, not really showing that, are you, in what you do? It's like...
And Lando's other biggest problem is he can't fundamentally change who he is. He is the person
Lando's biggest problem is his English. That's his biggest problem, man.
But he's got the mentality and he's got the his personality of the way he is, and that is who he is. So he can't change that, but he's got to try and find the way of getting the best out of who he is as a person. And right now, whatever he's doing isn't getting the best out of him because he is a much better driver than what he's showing, and he's a much quicker driver than what he's showing. But there's something that he's
pressure,
doing,
isn't it? How much of winning a title is being able to handle the pressure in any sport?
Absolutely,
You look at, and I said this about Oscar right at the start. It's very rarely I'm right, but he does look like the sort of person that it just doesn't bother him, does it?
No.
He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. He's, when he wins, he's there. When he loses, he's there. Lando wins, he's up here. When he loses, he's down here, and it's like, fucking hell, we're all over the shop. Oscar seems to be, yeah, I've won, fantastic. Oh, I've lost, fantastic. You know what I mean? It just doesn't affect him.
But like I said, that's quite an Australian thing. They seem to be more laid back than British people, just in every walk of life. We're a lot more hyped up as people. The Australians seem to be a lot more laid back as people, and then it allows them to be better in certain sporting situations that build pressure by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's struggling, Orlando. He's struggling, and I mean, I didn't realise how much the gap had grown. I don't know why. It was a couple of points last time I looked, and now is he 16 behind, and Max is 31 behind, something like that.
Yeah, we're approaching bigger numbers now. We're approaching that if Oscar wins today, Lando ends up third, let's say, just for want of sort of numbers. We're talking a race victory now, or a race retirement for Oscar and a win for Lando just to catch up to parity.
I think the biggest problem for Lando is that at some point, and I've said this all along, McLaren have got to make a decision about how they balance these two drivers. And suddenly Lando becomes driver number 2, doesn't
he? Yeah, I think if by
the end of this triple header, he's got to be closer than he started it.
Yeah, but I think once we get to the summer break, that's where you definitely, if you're talking Oscars, I don't know, 50, 60 points clear by the summer break, you're going to say it's done.
Unless... No, McLaren have got to, haven't they? They've got to. I mean, I was looking at it yesterday and thinking, with my team principles head on, as I do, Max looked like he was ready to take pole. He was there or thereabouts taking pole. Straight away, and I wrote it in my notes, I'd be sending Lando out to drag Oscar down the straight. That'd have been my play, to make sure Oscar gets on pole. Now, he got on pole anyway. But for me to be thinking like that, he's sacrificing Lando for Oscar is what my point was. I'm not saying what I said was right, but I wasn't sacrificing Oscar for Lando. I was sacrificing Lando for Oscar because he's the only one that can beat Max right now. So I think the team are going to come to a point where they're going to have to sacrifice one or the other because the two can't keep taking points like they are. There's going to become times where they've got to pick one or the other, and Lando's so far behind, he's going to be second choice, isn't he?
I think at the minute they're in a situation where that doesn't have to happen for the simple reason their car in race trim is still significantly superior. If we get to a point in 3 races...
Fourth, isn't it?
Yeah, if we get to a stage in 3 or 4 races' time, after Spain and the technical directives and a few more upgrades, where the pecking order on race day is much closer, then yes, McLaren have a problem. While they've got this big advantage on race day, they don't need to care. They don't need to get involved. But if they get to the point where the Red Bull or the Mercedes or another car can match them in a race, then yes, this is then a conversation of you've got to back one or the other. And right now, you cannot back Lando because it's just ridiculous.
But I looked at it today and thought how important, after our discussion last week, it was that the car on pole was Oscar Orlando. And Max was there or thereabouts, wasn't it? You didn't go into Q3 thinking McLaren are clearly going to get this. He could have quite easily pipped him. And I thought there's going to become a point soon where they think, right, and I know they do it in Italy a lot, don't they, with the drag down the straight, and Lando's going to be the one they sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because Oscar is not only leading the championship, but clearly looks like a guy capable of taking it to Max.
Absolutely,
even if it was the other way around at the minute, I'm looking at Lando thinking, I just don't back you for this season to go on and do anything else. So you're going to get sacrificed, mate, surely. You're going to have to put your finger out, otherwise you're going to be clearly driver number 2. It's not going well for him, is it?
No, it's not. And again, yesterday, he's ended up 2.5, 3 tenths off pole. That's a lot over a lap. That's minute 15, minute
It's been in the
16,
same
whatever it
car
is.
as well. And a car you've been
Yeah.
in a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your excuses aren't there either. It's not your car, but you were there from the inception of this car. You've worked through it all. There's a new guy coming in. He's younger than you. He's less experienced than you. You've got no excuse, have you? There is no excuse.
No.
It's
The only excuse there is.
Every week I go in and think, this is the week. He's just going to do one of them laps where you watch him and think, yes, he's back. And we're going to watch a masterclass. And every week I sit there and think, it's like watching Man United. Every week we're going to turn up and we're going to win 3-0. And I'm going to think, this is the start. Everyone's going to click that system. And every Monday morning I wake up and think, why did I spend all week thinking that had happened? And it's the same with Lando. I mean, it's the same with everyone I watch. Miami Dolphins, Lando Norris. I said to you the other day, Man United, Perth Glory, that stupid football team that's Australian. I don't know what the freaking hell's going on. They always lose. Everyone just loses. I'm going to start betting on other team every week. If I bet against Man United. 100 quid against Man United every week.
The odds would be terrible.
It's ridiculous. Every week I just think Lando's going to do it. United are going to win. And every week I sit here and think, oh, that's another week where they've both been crap.
But speaking of betting and predicting, we are a little over 70 minutes away from the start of the San Marino Grand Prix. That it's not called the San Marino Grand Prix anymore. Hasn't been for 30 years, but that's what I'm going with.
Is that what it was? Was this the San Marino Grand Prix?
Yes, for anybody that's over the age of 30, which is us. Yes, it was the San
like
Marino
a dolphin on the computer game.
Yes.
What?
This is the San Marino Grand Prix.
Absolutely stunned me. It only dawned on me over there. This is where Senna died.
Yes, at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix.
Absolutely brilliant. So they've changed the track, obviously, haven't they? Because it doesn't look like a dolphin anymore, I don't think. Does it?
Well, it does still, vaguely, but Tamburello, where Senna died, is now a chicane instead of a fast swooping left-hander. So the
Which
first
one is
corner,
it then? The first corner.
It's the first corner that is now a chicane. That's where Senna died because it was a fast left-hander originally. So that now is
a left-hander. I mean, I remember the crash. I just don't remember where on the track it was to relate back to it.
And then where Yuki crashed yesterday is where Roland Ratzenberger died the same weekend.
Shit. I mean, it's not a great track, is it? People are... Yuki's
Yeah, it's had a bad history as a track, unfortunately. It's been unlucky, I suppose.
Yeah, I think when Top Gear did the thing, they call it a Widowmaker or something. Like,
it's just had a history, unfortunately, and especially that fateful weekend in 1994 where Barrichello crashed going into the final chicane. He rode the barrier. He was very lucky. Ratzenberger was then killed on the Saturday. Senna was then killed on the Sunday. So it's not, it's had an unfortunate history.
I didn't realise it was him. Now you've said it, it does make sense that it was him or it was San Marino, but yeah.
But anyway, slightly off topic there. Give me your top 3 prediction for an hour's time.
Right. Well, the top 3 that it is now is not how it'll finish.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go Oscar, Max, Lando.
So when you said the top 3 is not going to be as it is now, basically you've moved one car.
I mean, I didn't say how many. I just said it won't be. I was going to go a bit out there, and then I thought every time I go out there, no fucking happens, does it? And then it's not that track.
What I'm going to predict is Ferrari won't do well.
Are they both outside the top 10?
Yeah. 11th and 12th.
I mean, did you see the interview before where they went around the factory?
No, I haven't.
It's quite good. They walk around the factory with the new team principal guy and they talk about their outlook for the season. And I was like, yeah, that's like me saying we might win the Champions League next year. I mean, you're just dreaming, mate. I mean, what have you built? Things haven't gone quite as well as we'd expected. I'm like, really? Aston Martin are ahead of you this weekend.
So there's only one response to that comment.
Most of the time. Fucking, I mean, it's just...
It's not gone as well as we expected. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
I mean, what have they built?
A shed.
Is it owned by Ineos and the other geezer? It's like, it's horrendous, isn't it? I mean, they were saying, Lewis Hamilton had no brakes all weekend. I mean, they're quite a fundamental part of the car, aren't they?
Especially around that track. You do.
But I mean, last weekend when he not complained about he couldn't stop the car as well, or last time they were out. I mean, it's obviously, I don't know. They've gone severely backwards, haven't they?
Yeah, and going further backwards. And then, like you said, Aston Martin have apparently turned up with a functioning car for the first time all season.
Yeah,
I mean,
where did that come from? Well,
it's taken 3 months, but all of a sudden they've gone, oh, this is... I mean, I'm hesitant to say Adrian Newey's got involved in this year's car because I just don't believe he would. He's looking at 26, but all of a sudden they've gone, oh, wait, you turn engine on, it
maybe he
works.
just rang up and said, "You see that big thing on back? Take it off because he's not doing that." Oh, yeah. Take that bit off. Oh, we're fast all of a sudden. Maybe they've like just tightened wheel nuts up or something.
Or turned the engine on.
Or turned it on, yeah. What's that button for? That's engine mode. Oh, we've had it on tick over. Fuck's sake. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, Ferrari are a disaster, aren't they? I mean, they dream, and I think it was a dream for a lot of people that Hamilton went to Ferrari and won 8th title. You know, I mean, I know it looks stupid now, but if you start the season, even if you weren't a massive Hamilton fan, to see Hamilton win his 8th, I think he deserves it. Everyone would agree with that after what's gone on. And to see him win it in Ferrari, which is an iconic team, it almost like it felt like a match made in heaven, didn't it? That it was just going to be fate.
Yeah, it was the fairy tale the sport needed, I think.
And then China happened, and you sort of thought, oh, could it? You know, we've had a little bit of a slow start, but could it? Have they found the formula? And then everything just, yeah.
And then
Again,
Sunday happened and they got disqualified.
Another Monday morning where I just thought, well, that was another disappointing. Man United lost, Hamilton got disqualified, Lando finished 400 miles back, and it just hasn't picked up. I mean, it's got worse and worse, hasn't it? It's just getting worse and worse.
So my prediction is going to be, before we finish for the afternoon, Max wins, Oscar second, Lando third.
How does Max beat Oscar? And that's not me having a go. I'm genuinely, how do you think he can do it?
Beats him into turn 1 and then Oscar can never get past him.
That's about the only way, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not saying it will happen, but that's just what I'm going with.
First lap, barring some sort of safety car, which is bound to be, I think, isn't there? There's going to be a safety car.
Yeah.
Possibly a helicopter landing on the track at some point. You know, it could be. So if you can get lucky with that, then. But I think yeah. And it's disappointing to think first corner wins it, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's just where we are with the sport. They've messed up the cars too much, and we've messed up following people. And this track historically is narrow, has always been narrow.
So we don't do advice because we have to put a disclaimer on to say that we don't. But advice would be: don't watch football, don't watch Formula One.
Yes.
Yeah, I just thought of it. Can you explain one thing to me before we go? Why did Oliver Behrman think he was into Q2, 1, when he quite clearly wasn't? Why did it take VAR time for them to decide that the red flag was quite clearly out because it's bright red and you could see it, and he wasn't over the line? I'm totally baffled by it.
Not sure on that one because I saw the still image of it. Because again, I was in the middle of doing things, and he's about 30 feet short of the line.
Yeah,
and that's all the lights are red.
There's light. I mean, from the camera coming on, you can see red light. Now, I don't understand exactly what red light means. What are they all? Because there's another red light that then comes on further down, isn't there? There's a square red light that comes on. But it doesn't cross the line at any point before any of these red lights run show.
So the red light on the side of the track in the square, that is a marshalling post. Instead of having a physical marshal, that's a red light, like it would be a yellow flag. So that's telling him session stop.
But there's a load of red circular lights on.
For them, you stop lights, but they go red as well to tell you session stop.
They roll already red, and then
everything telling you, it's all like, just not happening.
But at no point, it's not like he crossed the line before the square one came on and the circular ones were on.
Yeah,
all of them were on.
Yeah,
it took me one take. I'm not, not bragging, but I saw it once and thought that's clearly red, and that's the line. He's not crossed it yet. I don't understand his argument, and I don't understand why he sat in the car. And why did it take him 17 minutes to assess it?
I have no idea.
We're looking around the track to see if there was another red flag earlier, and I'm like, I don't think that's relevant, is it? The red flag's there. And, the first red flag to be thrown anywhere on the track is the one that counts. I'm like, right. So, but even if there wasn't one, there's still one there, and he hasn't crossed the fucking line. So, I don't understand the point. But
even if the first red flag that he'd come across was the first one,
the square one, Even if the dots weren't there, just the square, he still hadn't crossed the fucking line because he could see it. If he could have crossed the line, it'd have been behind him. I'm like, I don't get it. Why have we gone VAR style Formula One now, where we're reviewing things that don't need reviewing?
I don't know. I
mean, Bortoletto just drove to the end of pit lane. He's like, fuck it, I've had enough of it. So I'm just going out. Just sat at the end of pit lane. Like, look, you can't ban me once I'm on track. So fuck it, I'm out.
Just made up his own rule.
I don't agree with FIA, but the system seemed to generally flow a little bit better than VAR. That just seemed very VAR-ish. Like, it was, like we were reviewing the decision from a box in Hackney, and he was trying to get the feed up to see where, and I'm like, you pressed the button. The FIA, the man must have gone red flag, press the button, right? What time did you press the button? And was he anywhere near the line? No, not across the line when you press the button. Well, that's it then. We're done.
Yeah, because with F1, it's really easy. There's a transponder in the car that can tell them literally to the meter where the car is.
To the seconds, they're saying he's 4 seconds behind you, he's 3 seconds behind you, he's on a fast lap coming past you. But yet they can't tell which part of track you're on when red flag came out. Yet there's footage. I mean, what can't speak, can't lie. It's there. It's in black and white and colour.
Yep.
I was just sat there. I mean, I turned it off and went to bed in the end because I was sick of waiting. Good morning. Because I just waited. I thought, what am I waiting for? Yeah. Even I know, and I'm literally the other side of the world, and I can tell you he's not made it. Yeah, he thinks he has 40 foot away. Yeah, bonkers. Absolutely.
It was a little bit crazy, but we have less than...
crept into Formula One. Just what we need.
Yeah, we don't need that. But what we do need is the Formula One race that is about to start in less than an hour. So for this week, I'm going to say goodbye, good night, enjoy the Formula One, and we shall speak to you all again very, very soon.
Go on, United.
They're not playing. They've already lost.
Yeah, we will be before we play it on again.